Okay, today we're going to use Paint.net, which is a free online program, to do what I like to call face-off photo manipulation. Okay, and essentially what I'm talking about is what we're looking at something like this, where we take the left-hand side of the photograph, put it on the right-hand side, take the right-hand side of the photograph and put it on the left-hand side by simply cutting and pasting. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to make sure that all our images that we want to manipulate are organized before we get started. So we're going to use the Windows Explorer program, and the Windows Explorer program is great for organizing all your photographs or any files. Everything's all mapped out on the left, and the details are on the right-hand side. And here we have up in the address bar specific directions as to where to find everything. So within this My Pictures folder, I have these files and folders, and including some things that I've already done, and I'm going to be working on a face-off today. I've got a variety of photos to choose from, but I'm going to choose a photograph that has a picture of myself that is face-on and that it's fairly symmetrical, as opposed to maybe perhaps being slanted or tilted off to one side. So let's take a load of this photograph, and here's fairly symmetrical. It's pretty well dead straight on. This happens to be at the U2 concert down in Seattle a few years ago. So I'm going to choose that guy, and I'm going to simply copy that, right-click, copy, and put that in, paste it into that folder so I know exactly what to look for and where to find it. Okay, so there it is there. Alright, now let's take a look at Paint.net. And that's the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull up that image. So we're going to open it up. There it is, Paint.net, My Pictures Face Off. And there we go. Now I can zoom in if I want. View, zoom in, view, zoom in. And that'll allow me to be a little more accurate in my cropping or my selection. So I'm going to use my rectangle select tool, and I'm going to choose about almost as close to halfway as I can get. And I'm going to include a little bit of the shoulders as well too. Okay, I'm going to cut that image, so using the shortcut or edit, cut. And now I want to create a new image for that to be placed into. So I'm going to go File, New, and I'm going to want to make sure that my width is 11 and my height is 8.5, which tends to be the standard paper size. And then I'm not going to use a shortcut key here, but I'm going to go to Edit, Paste into New Layer, because the shortcut key is the paste, and that doesn't seem to work as well. So let's go Paste into New Layer. Okay, and I'm going to simply move it over to the other side now. Okay, now I'm going to want to return to the original photograph, and I'm going to again rectangle select, and I'm going to choose the other half of that photograph, or that face. And I'm going to cut that out, go back to my new one, and I want to edit, paste into new layer, and there we go. So now I have the two sides, but I've got all this background stuff that I want to get rid of. Now I find that it's easier to save this right now as a JPEG image and then shut the photograph down and reload it again, and that allows me to simply adjust it, convert it into a black and white, paint it all, any background material such as this out quickly and easy without any too many problems. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to go File, Save As. Here I am in my folder. I want to name it as a Face-Off 01, and I want to save it as a JPEG, not as a PDN, but a JPEG. So that's right there. And save, and OK. Okay, now I'm just going to close everything out. And I find that by closing everything out and then reopening, I never have any problems. So File, Open, and there it is, Face Off. And there we go. Now I can simply go to my adjustments and convert that to black and white. And now I want to make sure that my primary color isn't black, but my primary color is white. go to my paintbrush, make sure that it's an appropriate size, and then I'm going to simply erase it. And now I'm going to do this very quickly. You can do a much better job at this if you take your time. Okay. Let's do this side. Every now and then I will release the edit or the clicker, because if I make a mistake and I hit my edit undo, it goes back to my last click. Okay. Make that a bit bigger now. Clean it up. Okay, you can do a much better job. I'm just doing this very quickly. Okay, there we have our face-off image. Okay, and then last thing I want to do is I want to file, save as, keep it as a JPEG, and I'll replace the same file. There we go. So that's your face-off assignment. Of course, you can add textual images. I've seen people even use like a face swapping technique or another cutting and pasting technique to insert a colored eye, like maybe like a cat's eye or something like that, to kind of add some kind of flair to it. But you can do whatever you want with it. But that's a real quick and easy lesson on how to create what I call a face-off image.